Your team sucks. The Washington Redskins under a lot of pressure to change their name. So I wanted to get George and Jordan's thoughts on this. George, what do you think about the Washington Redskins having to change? Well, they don't have to. In fact, Daniel Snyder said he's not going to do it. But what's your take on it, George?
Well, I think it's dumb. I mean, why are we going after something that is really insignificant? Everyone's just trying to make points, trying to come up with politically correct stuff to go after. I think it's a joke. I don't understand why they have to change anything. Just how many people? It's been there for how many years?
A
It doesn't
long
make any
time.
sense.
Been there a
Doesn't make any
long
sense.
effing time.
Over 100 years. The names that they're kicking around right now are the Red Wolves, which would let them keep the HTTR. Hail to the Red Wolves. You could have a picture of a wolf with the Indian head inside of it, or whatever. Or the Warriors, which would let them keep the logo. So that's what they're talking about right now. I think really, if you keep the logo, why change the name, right?
So just go into sports and change all
But Jordan,
the
Jordan,
teams. Change them to either logos, change all their logos, either to colors or animals. That's it. You can only choose
Jordan,
colors or
as
animals.
usual, you're full of information with not very much opinion. So, what is your opinion on changing
I was getting to that. All right.
Okay. Okay.
This is the ultimate PC culture thing. There's the pressure to change the name on the Redskins is kind of circular. Every few years it comes back up again. Native Americans are offended by it. They do protest the name, and so
Not what I
therefore
heard.
I don't really have a problem with it. I think a lot of this is Dan Snyder said he wasn't going to change the name. Ron Rivera comes along and has very much been in his ear about changing the name. I think he will end up changing the name with the pressure from. It comes down to dollars and cents, right? With the pressure from FedEx and some of his other sponsors. He has tons of money. I think he'll change the name. I think they'll go with something that starts with red so that they can keep the slogan and the different things. I can see it being the Red Wolves. At the end of the day, I don't have that big of a problem with it. If they feel like it's something they have to do, I don't feel like he should have to. But if he wants to, it's a nice gesture.
Right?
You're
He's
honoring
gonna do it. He's gonna do it. It's gonna be changed. I guarantee it.
you're honoring the culture. You're honoring their culture. It's not something you're talking about how strong and loyal and tough they are. It's a name, and people are reading way too much into it. It's a name that actually talks about strength, and you're honoring that culture. And in fact, you said that you had a lot of Native Americans that were protesting it. Everything I've seen, most Native Americans actually like it, and
It's
the
kind of
majority of
split.
them like it.
You do have groups that send letters every single year
Yeah,
about changing the
I say
name.
this is that I will monitor the Twitter feed from time to time for uwager .lv, and I've been watching a lot of the comments from Native Americans about this subject, and I can tell you most of them don't care, and most of them are like, "Hey, this is honoring our culture, and we kind of like it." Right? And I haven't seen one negative thing except from white liberals, right? And so I don't quite get why these white liberals continue to think that they have to make decisions for people's cultures. They can make their own decisions, and you're honoring the culture. I don't know. That's my take. That's how I've
I don't know.
always seen
They've
it.
had such a long and rich history of losing, that
Uh, that's
maybe a
not
name
true at all.
change and a facelift might be good for them at
No, you
least
see,
right
when
now.
I was a kid, when I was a kid and George were kids, the Redskins were one of the best teams and franchises in the
I know,
NFL. Joe Gibbs,
just
and
not
I can tell
recently.
you, as a kid, playing Cowboys and Indians, and you always, when you thought of the Redskins, you never thought of weakness or anything like that. You thought of strength and honor and culture. It was never a negative connotation that went with it. So that's my take on it, is that if it's not negative, then why change it? That's my take. Anyway, final thoughts, George.
Well, it will be changed. Hopefully, they come up with something decent. None of those weird names that Jordan was throwing out. And I bet you about 90% that things changed before the year starts.
Jordan?
I agree with George. It's happening whether we like it or not. So I guess get over it.
Amazon pulled all the Redskins stuff off their off their shopping
All
list.
the merchandise, they pulled it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So it's going to happen.
Well, that's going to do it. Like, share, do all that. See you next time.